Yes everyone, welcome back to another video. My name's Nathan Sanford, you are watching Little Sinners, and it's time for Game Week number 6 of the Premier League predictions. I did pretty well last week. If you want to see what scores I got right and wrong, stick around right to the very end. But in the meantime, let's get into Game Week 6's prediction, shall we? Newcastle versus Manchester City. Now, I think I called it, because I said this about Newcastle last week.
But Newcastle, it's not happening again. Nope, it's not happening again. Your unbeaten record is gone this time.
And see, your unbeaten run came to an end. Oh, such a shame, such a shame. If you look at the stats from the game with Newcastle versus Fulham, then Newcastle definitely dominated possession. But when you watch the highlights of the game, Fulham just ran the show with all the big chances. And then you had a mistake from Pope, which led to a goal. Then you also had a mistake from Bruno Guimaraes, which led to a goal. It's almost like you're not as good as you think you are, Newcastle, innit? And then on to Man City, and whew, that was close. I was 6 minutes away from being one loss away from having to buy a Birmingham City shirt. If you don't know what I'm on about, then this is what I mean.
City are going to be invincible this season. I am telling you right now, they are not going to lose a single game, and then at the end of the season, they're going to get relegated by the 1-1-5. That's what's going to happen. I'm so confident that City aren't going to lose a game this whole season. I'm going to say if City lose more than one game, because I want to give myself a little bit of a chance. So if they lose more than one game, I will buy a Birmingham City shirt with I Love Blues on the back.
City just keep being relentless at the moment. They just kept hammering at the door at Arsenal, and eventually they let them in. And I don't think it's going to stop there either. So for this game, I'm predicting a 2-0 win to Man City. Arsenal versus Leicester. I would say I'm 2-2 right now from last week. First, I said that Newcastle would lose their first game this season and their unbeaten streak would be gone. Not that it was a wild prediction or anything, but still, the little wins, the little wins. And for Arsenal, I said this.
And at the end of the game, Arteta's going to come out, whinge and cry about some sort of decision that happened in the game that really wouldn't have made any difference to the outcome of the match. And then you'll go onto social media, onto TikTok, and that, what's his name, Rory Talks Football, will just spurt out the same load of bollocks that Arteta did in his mission to creep into his bed so he can give him a little, how's your father?
Trossard got sent off for kicking the ball away. Arteta came out in the interview afterwards, whinging and crying about it. And then you had Rory Talks Football just regurgitate the same things that Arteta said in the interview. Now, I don't think it should be a yellow card for kicking the ball away, really, truly. Yeah, if you're the opposing team, it's annoying, but so is going down pretending you have cramp. It's almost like the same thing, so it shouldn't be a yellow card. But if this is what they're doing, especially it seems to be against Arsenal, like the referees, Trossard, maybe don't be a complete dumbass and do it anyway. You literally saw Rice get sent off like 2 games ago for it, and you just go and do it anyway. Why? Your brain can hear the noise of the whistle and then tell your foot not to kick the ball. Like, in literally like that. Very quickly, your brain can work like that. I don't know what he's doing there. Why would you do it? On to Leicester, and well done for getting the late equaliser. I didn't think you were going to do it in the end. I thought that my prediction was just out of it, but you got the 1-1. Good on you. But there's always a but. You need to be winning that game against Everton. They are so poor at the moment that you just had to win. You're not going to get many this season. That was the one that you should have won. But all in all, I think it's going to be a nice, comfortable win for Arsenal in this one. So I'm saying Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. Brentford versus West Ham. Brentford 22 seconds against City and then like 19 seconds against Spurs. Crazy! That's some crazy quick goals. And what a goal by Mbeumo as well. Just a beautiful side foot volley. Just like a whata, top corner, whapa. T-Rex arm, yeah. But is scoring super early in the game maybe a little bit of a hindrance to your Brentford? As that's 2 games now you've done it, and 2 games you've just let it slip away from you. And then West Ham, I know your stadium is just a dreadful bowl with just no atmosphere because the fans are like 50 bazillion miles away from the pitch. But if I'm right thinking, you haven't got a point at home yet, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong or right, I can't remember. I didn't look it up, I should have done. But like, that's just not good, West Ham. I was so looking forward to your season, thinking you were going to have a really good season, get back into that Conference League, sort of Europa League spots, but at the moment, you need to turn something around. And I do think that West Ham, you've been playing a lot better away from home. So I'm going to think that continues for you. And I'm going to say Brentford 1, West Ham 2. Chelsea versus Brighton.
Sorry, Chelsea fans, it's not happening again. You are not going to score more than 3 goals in the game for the rest of the season, I'm telling you now. Alright, and if you do score more than 3 goals in a single season, I will stand outside with an ice bucket chucked over me whilst kissing a picture of João Felix.
Well, that was close. I am so glad I said more than 3 goals and not just 3 goals. Because if Chelsea had scored 1 more goal, I would have been stood out in this weather right now. It's pissing it down. It's kind of stopped, but it was pissing it down. I would have to stand out there with an ice bucket thrown over me, kissing João Felix. Picture of João Felix. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But I still don't think it's going to happen, Chelsea. You're not going to win by more than 3 goals for the whole season. From now I hit my hand. Now, until the end of the season, you're not doing it. You're not. It's not happening. Not even win by more than 3 goals, just score more than 3 goals. It's not happening. But on the positive side, Chelsea, you are on a bit of a roll at the moment. You're doing well. You're really showing that you're more of like an upper mid-table team than sort of a lower mid-table team. So, yeah, well done. And then Brighton, you got back amongst the goals. A good 2-2 draw against a very good Forest side. And can I just say, Welbeck, what a free kick from him as well. Just beautiful free kick. Just completely flat-footed the keeper. It's like he's gone back 10 years and realised he's actually better than he was 10 years ago. It's mental. Well done, Welbeck. But I do think as well, Brighton, you're going to get back to your winning ways against Chelsea. And I'm going to say it is going to be Chelsea 0, Brighton 1. Everton versus Crystal Palace. I actually think Everton will win a game this season. I mean, they just have to eventually, right? They can't not win a game. And I think it's going to be this one. I mean, Palace, you're just boring. I don't know what to say about you. You're just meh. You just meh. That's it. So I'm going to have to say Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1. Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. 2 teams here that are actually having a really good season so far. I know it's only 5 games in, but they're both smashing it. And I'm also think I'm doing pretty well predicting both these teams, so I'm feeling confident about this one. Forest, I really feel like, as you've already proven, you can beat anyone on your day. Like, you got that amazing 1-0 win against Liverpool. You never know, you could go later on in the season and beat City or someone. And Fulham, all of your signings are just bedding in super quick and are doing really well. Smith Rowe looking like an excellent pickup. Arsenal are really, really good at having this amazing player on their books who they just keep going, oh, we might play them some point, you know, we might do. But then you just never do. You just let them rot on the bench. They then go to another club and all of a sudden they win the World Cup or they actually turn out to be a really, really good player. It's almost like Arsenal don't know what they have when they have it. It's good for the other teams though. But once again, I'm going to have to sit on the fence for this one because I think it's going to be such an evenly matched game. I'm going for Forest 1, Fulham 1. Wolves versus Liverpool. Everyone keeps going on about how dreadful Everton are. And don't get me wrong, they're pretty bad at the moment. But no one's really talking about Wolves as far as I've seen. And they are just as bad. Like, I was listening to the game on Saturday. I had it on my phone. And I didn't think that we were going to win against Wolves. I did not see it happening. We'd sound really slow. Champions League was sort of taking a bit of effect in that first half. And I didn't see us getting a win back. But then no, just like Everton, Wolves' defence became as leaky as my gutter is outside. Because once again, it's pissing it down. And it's broke. Oh, and by the way, Wolves, just mind the gap, you know. And then Liverpool are similar to City. They're just relentless at the moment. You're going to keep rolling on, getting win after win, and you're definitely in this title race. People were ruling you off. I think you're going to be in it. There's definitely once again a 4-horse title race with a certain lion in there as well. This is an easy one to predict. I'm saying Wolves 1, Liverpool 4. Ipswich versus Aston Villa. Ipswich! That was the one game I could predict you to win. That was the one game you could have won against Southampton. It was probably the easiest game you're going to play all season. And you still didn't win. Come on, man, help me out here. Give me something. I'm rooting for you, Ipswich. But there's not many games that I can say you're going to win. There's just not many left. I think you might have maybe 2 more in the season that I can say you will win. And then to the mighty Villa. 4 wins out of 5. 3rd in the Premier League. 3rd most goals scored in the Premier League. Oh man, what's that? 4th in the Champions League? Need I say more? It's an easy 2-0 win to Villa. Now Villa, I keep predicting you to get a clean sheet and you don't, so please this time just get a bloody clean sheet. Please, pretty please, thank you. Man United versus Tottenham. Palace versus Man U was just a snooze fest. I would rather watch Glee than Man U versus Crystal Palace. I definitely would, because I actually quite like Glee. It's quite entertaining. And the songs are great. I just don't see any positives from new Man U, apart from Garnacho is proving that he's probably better than Man United. I mean, you have to scroll to page 2 in the table just to see Man U. I bet you Mark Goldbridge is loving that. As Spurs, you got a comfortable win in the end against, who did you pick? Brentford? Against Brentford. And Solanke finally got his first goal as well, after I took him out of my fantasy team. For João Pedro, who ended up on the bench. I'm not good at this whole fantasy thing. I'm not good at many things. But I think, once again, this is going to be another draw. I think it's going to be Man U 2, Spurs 2. I don't know. And lastly, Bournemouth versus Southampton. It's not the best Monday night football to have, but you never know, it might surprise me. I don't really know what to say about either of these teams. It's just a bit, yeah. So I'm just going to have to say Bournemouth 1, Southampton 0. So there we go, there are my predictions for game week number 6. How do you think I did? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to give me a subscribe. Hit the little subscribe thing. Because I'm on 82 subscribers. Trying to get to 100. That's my first little goal, is 100. Then like 500. And then the 1,000. I really want to get there. Please, I want to make this work. So, hit that subscribe button for me. Now, if you only wanted to see the actual predictions themselves, you can head off, go and watch another amazing video somewhere else. But if you do want to see how I did last week and what scores I got right and what I got wrong, then stick around as I'm going to be showing you them right now. So here we go, here are all the scores and my predictions from game week number 5. As always, on the left hand side is the final scores. On the sort of middle right hand side, we do have my scores. So let's go through all of them and see how I did, shall we? So we had West Ham versus Chelsea, finished 3-0 to Chelsea in the end. I said it was going to be a boring 0-0. Was very wrong there. Then we had Leicester versus Everton. It was 1-1, and I did say it was going to be 1-1. Boom. Nice correct score right there. Then Liverpool-Bournemouth, it finished 3-0. I said it was going to be 3-1. Bournemouth, you just needed to get a goal. I know, but that is a correct result there, at least. So then we move on to Tottenham-Brentford. That was 3-1 to Tottenham. I said it was going to be 3-1 to Brentford. Got it the wrong way around. Then Fulham-Newcastle ended 3-1 as well, and I said it was going to be 2-1 to Fulham. So a correct result. Fulham, why'd you have to score that extra goal? Why did you have to score it? Then on to Southampton-Ipswich. It did finish 1-1, and I said it was going to be a 2-0 Ipswich. So, yeah, another wrong one there. Then we had Aston Villa versus Wolves. It did finish 3-1 to Villa, and I said it was going to be a 2-0. So another correct result, not a correct score though. Then Crystal Palace versus Man U. It finished 0-0. I said it was going to be 1-0 to Man U. Another incorrect. Then Brighton, Nottingham Forest, it did finish 2-2, and I said it was going to be 2-2, yay, I got it right. And then lastly, we did have the big game, Man City versus Arsenal, it finished 2-2 as well. I said it was going to be a 3-1 win to City, so another wrong score there. Then on to the points that I'm following throughout this whole season to see how many I get by the end of the season. As you can see at the bottom there, if I get a correct score, that equals 4 points. If I get a correct result, that equals 1 point. So I am up to 6 correct scores throughout the whole season. I think that's pretty good. There's been obviously a lot of games, what, 50 games now altogether? I think that's right. 6 correct out of all that. I don't think it's too bad. I've had 15 correct results and I've had 19 games that are fully wrong. So that does mean that my final total is 39 points. Not bad at all. So there we go, that is all for today's video. Once again, don't forget, leave a comment down below, let me know your predictions. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe as well. Like I said, I'm trying to get to that 100 subscribers. And also, don't forget, head on over to my TikTok. I post little videos here and there, mostly sort of Villa things. I also post little clips from this video on there as well. You don't need to do that because if you've already seen it, I'll shut up. But in the meantime, I've been Nathan Sanford, you've been watching Little Sinners, and I'll see you in a bit.